I do have a follow-up to the screen time that we talked about.
Oh, yeah. There was a story. I was kind of ranting on how overblown screen time, like there's a screen time scare.
Something that I forgot, and that one of my friends was talking about, that it's hard to like limit that screen time when there are so many things that they have to do for screen time at school. Like they have screen time classes. They have apps that they are required to do both in school and out of school that are education. And, so like that, like you said, like the word screen time, but there's so much more than when like just giving your 3-year-old your phone when you're at a restaurant. It's more than just, letting your kid watch YouTube or Minecraft or whatever.
Yeah, you need to subtract the screen time if you're educating the kids at home. Subtract that screen time. That doesn't count. That's school time.
Right.
And on top of that, hangout time with their friends is likely not happening.
Right.
So the kids playing Minecraft and like chatting with their friends seems like a pretty healthy thing to be doing. Let's keep these kids mentally well. Let's not be too worried about, oh no, they're going to be addicted to screens for life. It's far more damaging things to get addicted to at this point. If the kids are going through your medicine cabinet, okay, maybe be concerned. But oh no, screens are going to get them. Screens are going to get. I just want to, me without children, just want to try to give parents a break and say, don't sweat it, forget it. Who cares right now?
And especially like kids who would normally be in daycare right now, who are not in daycare, so they're not getting that social interaction. Pediatricians are, I feel like the parents that I've talked to, the pediatricians are like, there are worse things that could happen and it'll be okay. Like they're not freaking out about kids' social interaction, not being on point where they probably should be, but the world's not where it should be. So I think we just need to relax a little.
For older kids that can be on the computer or PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, etc., and can voice chat at the same time, that can actually, you're probably not going to put your 3-year-old, put a headset on your 3-year-old so that they can voice chat with other 3-year-olds.
Right.
I guess this is my point. And ultimately, there's only 24 hours in a day except for, daylight saving switch. So it's not like they're going to magically be hanging out with their friends in real life and also have additional hours to just be glued to a screen. It's just those hours get filled back in with those hangout times,
right,
when the after times arrive.
When the after times get here. I was never hip on those messaging apps either, but when we were home and no school and not going anywhere, I went ahead and signed the girls up because I can't imagine like going home for spring break and then never seeing my friends again or not knowing when I'm going to see my friends again. Because that's essentially, they didn't go back to school after spring break. And some of those kids aren't even at their school anymore or in their class. And so I went ahead and let them, do some messaging and they can still FaceTime and video chat or whatever. But there's just so much screen time that sometimes I'm definitely like, okay, enough.
Well, once again, being aware of what is being consumed on the screen is helpful.
Correct.
You're FaceTiming, and that's consider that instead of spending the night at someone's house, you're hanging out with a video chat or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, if it's just watching the equivalent of TV all day, then yeah, I understand that's not especially engaging and probably healthy just to have your screen time be all just consuming content. But if you're moving between, of course you can watch some video, but also, play some games on there and get in contact with your friends. And I don't know, I just think everyone should give themselves a break and not worry when big publications come out with some scary article about screen time.
Absolutely.
Especially right now. Like, we can focus on that stuff when we're back to normal. Just give me a break. I don't know. I just got increasingly annoyed since we last talked about that. And once again, being childless.
Right.
It's my trademark empathy, Kate, right?
Very well.
Right.
Very good job.
Right.
Good job.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Whatever. I mean, to be clear, she did buy him before he lost his rocker publicly. But like you said, it was probably a nut job beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
Just a closet nut job.
Some people late in life do go a little bit nutty, but...
Well, and then they blame it on their age. And it's like, no, you are a functioning adult. You know you're not supposed to talk like this in front of people, okay? And I'm not talking about really elderly people who do kind of lose it. I'm talking about like 50 and 60-year-olds are like, I'm getting old. And it just, you're an educated human being. You know better. Right. You cannot blame it on being old when I feel like 50s and 60s is not that old.
No, honestly, those are the people that we historically expect to be wise and teaching the rest of us stuff. But
oh, yeah. I had a previous boss who just, this old man. And I'm like, you're not an old man. You're younger than my dad, and my dad died. So, like, come on, buddy. Like, it just drove me crazy. Because he'd always blame it on, like, oh, this old brain. I'm like, no.
Yeah, someone I follow on Twitter who is, I'd peg him at maybe 45, 50, something like that, had posted something along the lines of, he's like, yeah, I'm older and a lot wiser now, but that means I know how much I don't know, so I'm really not willing to share that much of my wisdom. Something along those lines. And I agree. I think I was far more quick to offer unsolicited advice when I was in my early 20s than I am now.
Right. I think women in general are the recipients of unsolicited advice 99% of the time. And I will not say that it's mostly men.
Not.
I'm saying that women will also offer other women unsolicited advice. But I just can't count how many times I've gotten unsolicited advice when you're just having conversations.
So that indicate that women are more likely to give unsolicited advice to women than they are to men, just as much as men are willing to give unsolicited advice to women versus men?
I just don't think men get it as much as women. I don't think that if a man said he was, oh yeah, my wife is expecting, I don't think that everyone's going to unload on that man everything you need to do because you're expecting a baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or you're buying a house. I don't think everybody's going to unload on a man. Well, make sure that house has good flooring and make sure, I don't know. I just have felt like women always get, and I'm not saying it's always men to women. I'm just saying unsolicited advice. It's out there a lot.
And you'd rather it go
away.
Unshared.
Yeah. I didn't ask you. You don't have to. And it's not like, what I would do. It feels like an okay boomer move, like tone, but it's not what I mean.
Why don't you start saying I didn't ask? Have you thought about just being a jerk about it?
I have not thought about that. I mean, I've thought about it, Matt, but I'm not going to follow through with it. I do the polite smile and nod and like, yeah. Oh, that's good. Great. Thank you.
I don't think I've been on the, now you make me all paranoid. Have I been unsolicited advising Kate?
I don't think so. I feel like the advice that you give me, I feel like I've asked for. I mean, there's a couple of times where you promised you wouldn't make me second guess some things. So you're like, really? You're going to go with that? I'm like, Pat, you promised.
Yeah, that was just me messing with you, though.
I know. Or were you?
There are times, though, Kate, where I'll say something to somebody and then hours later I'll go, why did I say that? I go, I don't know what I'm talking about. Why did I say that? Not necessarily advice, maybe just like certainty about something. Well, the thing, blah, 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 blah. And then later on it's like, I don't know what I'm talking, what am I doing?
Oh, funny. I'm really good about being awkward to people. And then I walk away. I'm like, why did you say that? Why did you even feel the need to say that? That was dumb. You should not talk to people.
Yeah, I think for sure we both share the trait of constantly second-guessing what we said or did, but,
right.
Maybe for different reasons. I don't know.
I had a particular coworker who would always get really defensive when we'd have a conversation. And when I would try to defend myself, it would kind of blow up. And I never felt strong enough in the conversation. And I'd leave the conversation and 2 hours later, it's like, that's what I should have said.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, yeah, it was not a good mix.
There's a good Seinfeld episode about delayed comebacks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, George is eating just a ton of shrimp. It's like a work lunch or something. And one of his coworkers goes, hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp. And then later on, as he's driving home, where he's like, oh, that's what I should have said. And it was the jerk store called and they're running out of you. This is a comeback that he wished he had said.
Oh, and they're running out of you. Seinfeld's on Hulu. I should add it to my list. Yeah.
It's another series I bought instead of being subjected to the whims of streaming services,
Yeah.
Seinfeld and The Office. I've got a couple seasons of Arrested Development. That was a quality show.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it, but that was good.
Yeah. All right, we need to talk about popcorn.
Okay.
So you said Popcorn Day was earlier this week or something. We totally failed that one too.
We totally failed Popcorn Day. Yes.
We failed Popcorn Day and we failed you, dear listener.
We failed.
But every day is Popcorn Day, or it could be.
Or it could be. You're right. So, Matt, if you're going to reach for popcorn, what popcorn are you going to reach for?
I am now. I'm very pleased that we're talking about popcorn because I am now on I'm popping my own popcorn. No microwave popcorn anymore.
Right.
Quote stovetop, meaning my electric skillet. My electric skillet came with 2 different depths of pans. One that's more for soups, and that one's good for making popcorn.
Nice.
So it can fill up the whole deal. So I use olive oil, and then I do the move. I put it on medium heat and do the move where you just throw a couple of kernels on there.
Yeah.
Until they pop. And then add basically cover the bottom with popcorn and kind of shake it and cover everything in oil and then let her go. And then lately I've been adding some garlic powder to it, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Some salt and Tabasco.
Watch out.
That Tabasco, Kate. Have we talked about that before?
No.
Oh, okay. The Red Lion. You know the Red Lion in Lawrence by chance?
Oh, maybe we have. But yes. Okay.
Yeah. The Red Lion, first off, serves popcorn for free, which this is years ago, the last time I went, so no guarantees.
Before times.
Before times. It's been probably 10 plus years since I've been there in downtown Lawrence, the Red Lion. They had complimentary popcorn. You might think, oh my God, how are they giving away pop? You drink a lot more. You can get you get pretty thirsty eating popcorn. And then the real pro move is having Tabasco right there for you to top the popcorn, and that really gets you going with the beverages.
Because it's a little spicy.
So just a little splash of Tabasco, and then, because you don't want saturated popcorn, just a little splash of Tabasco and shake, and then splash, and then shake. And that's the popcorn I'm reaching for these days, Kate. It takes a little bit more patience, than just throwing it in the microwave for 3.5 minutes. But
yeah, we grew up with popcorn made, not microwave popcorn, but we had a popcorn popper. What is it, like an air popper?
Yeah, an air popper. It's like a small appliance. We had one of those too briefly when I was a little kid, yeah.
That's the one that I grew up with, but probably like in my teenage years, my dad got like a popcorn pot that you do it on the stove for, and the lids kind of pop up, whatever. But the trick with...
Is it a crank too, or...
Yeah. Okay. The trick that my dad would always do is you'd pop the popcorn, and then you'd put it in the brown paper bags, like the grocery bags. And then you'd drizzle your melted butter over the popcorn, and then you'd salt, and then you'd close the brown paper bag and you shake it really good. So then you got a good mix of butter and salt, and the brown paper bag would have the butter spots on the side. It was great. And then you pour it into this giant metal bowl that we have. It was our popcorn bowl. It was also the meatloaf bowl, but you pour the popcorn in there and we'd all dig in, and now my mom makes it, and she makes it over the stove with the popcorn pot, and same trick in the brown paper bag with butter and salt. And then she salts her own batch because that woman likes salt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to over salt. So I'm currently not buttering the popcorn though.
Then you're not doing it right.
I know. Although straight butter is actually not an unreasonable fat to consume some of.
Right.
Got to have some fat in there.
Right.
Margarine is hasn't everyone kind of turned on margarine?
I don't know. I'm not a margarine person.
Yeah, I think it's because it's basically synthetic. It's kind of like Miracle Whip. You'll probably appreciate this analogy. Miracle Whip is to mayo as margarine is to butter, I think. Probably.
Yeah. That's how it is in my life.
It's less pure. And then, yeah, fat was a scare word for a while. It still is. I mean, you're fat. That's no fun. And that actually is, it's still called fat, the unhealthy stuff hanging off you. Not you, Kate.
Thank you.
But off of a person.
Thank you.
Who struggles with their weight potentially. But fat content in food is overblown as a health concern.
Butter is better.
It's the sugar, and then the salt, and then finally the fat, I think. There's a book called Salt, Sugar, Fat that was really good.
Now, I did see somebody was sprinkling, like you said, garlic powder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody was sprinkling taco seasoning on the popcorn. And I thought, that sounds like something I could get on board with.
Yeah, crushed red pepper works pretty good, too. Unlike the Tabasco, what's nice about the Tabasco is, if you shake it up enough, then you just got enough kernels covered, or popped kernels. Is it called a kernel once it's popped? What do you call an individual?
I think it's popcorn.
An individual popped corn has some Tabasco on it. As you're eating that, surrounded by popcorn that did not receive the Tabasco, you're getting the overall Tabasco heat there.
It's enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I find that crushed red pepper kind of really makes its way to the bottom of the bowl, I feel like. But taco seasoning makes more sense because it's finer, like similar to salt. It seems like it would cling better.
Right. So instead of crushed red pepper, could you do cayenne pepper? Because isn't cayenne just ground red peppers?
Is it?
I thought so.
I don't know. You want me to look up while you explain?
I was just going to say, I feel like it's the same thing, only it's a finer. You don't have the flakes. You have the...
Yeah, it says the cayenne pepper is a type of Capsicum annum, usually a moderately hot chili pepper used to flavor dishes. Let me type. What's the difference? Oh, man, it's been a while since we've had a thrilling...
I know.
Got to do multiple searches of the internet segment here. What's the difference between cayenne?
Crushed cayenne pepper is usually just the ground up cayenne pepper. Red pepper flakes may consist of a couple different types of red peppers, but they often include the dried up seeds in addition to the dried peppers themselves. So the seeds is what makes it a little bit more spicy, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. I do love some caramel popcorn though. I'm not going to make it. And I'm not going to make cheese popcorn, but I love caramel popcorn and cheese popcorn. So you can take a piece of caramel and a piece of cheese at the same time and get your sweet and salty.
That's a good tip. Yes. Oh, man. And yeah, with the weekend up on us, could have a couple movie nights with popcorn. And yeah, popcorn's a really healthy food item if you don't douse it with too much stuff.
Right. The girls Monty took the girls in the before times, like almost right before everything shut down. They went to the movies, and the movie theater was selling the little jars of seasoning. So you could buy your popcorn at the movie theater, and then you can buy like a little cinnamon sugar or white cheddar, or I want to say red pepper was one of them, like a spicy. And there was ranch, or nacho, I guess. And they are hooked on white cheddar. And so when we have popcorn, a lot of times they're like, "Can we have white cheddar?" So every now and then I'll give them a little white cheddar sprinkle in there.
Oh, so many ways to enjoy popcorn.
Yeah. But you know what my favorite way with buttered popcorn is, Matt? At the movies especially?
With wine.
Reese's Pieces.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, wine's probably not terrible with it.
I was just trying to...
I know.
Remind you of wine.
Dip my popcorn in the red and then pop it. So tasty.
I got a little bit of mouth noise there for the mouth noise ASMR enthusiasts.
Oh, the girls were doing something the other day and they were making mouth noises. I was like, we have to stop. Please stop. It's making my skin crawl. So does that mean it's working?
I don't think your skin's supposed to crawl. I think it's supposed to...
Excite?
Yeah, excite.
Were you thinking of another word? Excite.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Yep.
That's the exact word I was searching for.
So skin crawling is not the proper response then?
I don't think so. I think that's the wrong form of, quote, arousal you're looking for, I think.
Oh, there's the word.
Yeah. I was thinking of a worse one than that. But
oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe something for you to think about this weekend.
Okay.
I wonder what word he was thinking about.
I wonder. I'm going to go to a thesaurus and look up aroused.
It wasn't just so much the word. It was the entire sentence I had in mind, I guess, now I think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too bad this is a family show because I would just blurt it out what I think you're thinking.
This is a family show first.
Right.
Then it's an educational show second.
Okay.
So the family part, sometimes makes us have to hold back some of the things that we want to educate people about. That's the Matt and Kate promise. Is that what the Matt and Kate promise is?
I feel like you need another jingle for that, too.
Matt and Kate. I don't know. Well, I'll workshop that over the weekend, too, along with the More You Know remix.
There you go. Take a picture of all the wadded up ideas in the trash can.
Yeah, the writing process just isn't quite the same if you can't crumple something and throw it into the trash. You know?
Right.
If you're writing, how can you write a novel if you can't yank the paper out of the typewriter and crumple it up and throw it into the trash? I don't know how these novelists that aren't using typewriters do it, Kate.
I don't know. And the editing what you want to change it to from what you changed it, instead of like just delete. Then you don't see what you had. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'd say the best movie for tips on how to write a novel is Misery with James Caan and
Kathy Bates.
Thank you, Kathy Bates. That's a great one. You've seen that one, Kate?
I have not seen it all the way.
Oh, have you seen some of the good stuff?
Yes.
Some of the quite scary stuff?
Where she's got the piece of wood in between his ankles.
That's exactly the scene I was thinking about, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, God, so messed up. But yeah, it's a good book about being an author. / movie about being an author. That's a Stephen King one, isn't it? Is that Stephen King?
It is Stephen King, yeah. Yeah, there was a publicity stunt at a bookstore a couple of years back where this small community theater where they were doing Misery at their theater.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So one of the ladies in the cast goes to a bookstore, like I would assume like Barnes and Noble, and she is asking the clerk, do you have anything by this author? And it's the James Caan character, the author in the play, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the clerk's like, I don't know. Let me look, but I've never heard of him. And she flips out. What do you mean you've never heard of him? He is like the greatest. And she starts rattling off all these like, fake books that he wrote. And the clerk was not in on it, but his supervisor was. And all these people, it's videotaped, of course. And all these people are like looking around like, this lady is nuts. But it was all like, end scene. Come to Misery this weekend at XYZ Community Theater. And applause. And it was actually lumped in. The reason I know about this is because it was lumped into like, I don't know, what was it, 6 months when like all the Karen videos were popping up.
Oh gosh.
Like they thought that this was a Karen video, but it was like, no, this was a publicity stunt for a small time theater.
A reminder that I have known multiple Karens throughout my life, all of them quite pleasant. In fact, I would say they were above average in their pleasantness.
Me too.
So just want to throw that out there. But what would be nice, pop some popcorn and gather the family around Misery this weekend.
Right.
Great family film.
Come on, kids. Let's watch Stephen King.
So when's the Chiefs game?
5:40 kickoff Sunday.
Be there.
Be there. Arrowhead.
I like the way you were delivering that. You got some little Smokies marinating?
No cocktail wieners at our house this Sunday.
Queso. Got some queso planned up?
We did queso last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, do I need to keep the queso train rolling because of good luck?
Yeah, there you go.
Or maybe we don't because Patrick got hurt. Maybe we need to switch it up. Ooh, wings sound good, Matt.
There you go. That's a good choice.
I have a really good wing dip. It's like hot wing dip. That it's really good with tortilla chips, but if you eat it with celery sticks, like when you're eating wings, super low carb, and it tastes just like eating wings.
That's right. You shared that with me before. You're like, oh yeah, it's low carb with that. But then I end up eating a couple, of this jumbo size restaurant style.
I know. It's
tortilla chips instead.
Hot wings. It's happening this weekend. I'm so excited.
Wait, so you're doing hot wings or you're doing this dip that tastes like hot wings?
You're right.
That I assume has bits of chicken in it.
It has chunks of chicken. You know what? I'm doing the dip. I'm going to do the dip.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit cleaner. I mean, you're not going to get dip up to your elbows like you do with wing sauce. So
yeah, you trust the kids to eat it. Would the kids even be into wings?
No. Elliot kind of likes it, but she definitely likes it with tortilla chips
The dip. Not. I'm talking about specifically wings, though.
No, I don't think our girls like wings.
Okay.
I've even deboned a wing for them to try because they definitely did not like the pulling the meat off the bone, which I get. I didn't really get into that until my 20s. So I just feel very carnivorous, very caveman style, pulling these bones apart and getting the ranch and
I do like tearing into some wings, especially ones that I can tell were pumped full of hormones at once upon a time.
Oh yeah, the roided out.
Yeah, roided out chicken. Yeah, bring me the least organic chicken you can find for my wings.
I want the Schwarzenegger of chickens, please. I'm kind of weird about wings. I don't like drummies. I like wings.
I don't know if Arnold Schwarzenegger would be very tender.
No, but he'd be all meaty.
That's true.
I want the meat.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger probably is very gamey. No, thank you.
Oh, you don't like Austrians, huh?
Would you like some Arnold Schwarzenegger dip? What?
Gross.
What's this meat in here? Don't worry about it. It tastes fantastic.
Hey, come over to our Super Bowl party. Bring a dip. Okay, I'll bring my Schwarzenegger dip.
What is this gamey meat that's in this? I don't want to...
Schwarzenegger. That's the Schwarzenegger.
It's a secret recipe.
Right? That's the... Oh.
Okay, so maybe you're going to make some wing dip for this...
I think I'm going to do wing dip, yeah.
Instead of the El Queso, yeah.
Have I told you about my obsession with Sriracha Ranch lately?
I believe you've mentioned Sriracha Ranch before. This seems familiar, but remind me.
Well, I'm back on a kick. I buy these giant bags of coleslaw from Sam's, and I feel like I'm going through this slaw in a week. This is a giant bag of coleslaw, and
Gross.
It's before you put it in the dressing. It's just the cabbage. I mean, it's not like it's the mayonnaise-y, dressing-y coleslaw. It's just the cabbage and the broccoli and the carrots, okay?
They could have given it a more attractive name, by the way. Just quick aside, slaw.
I agree with you.
Would you like some slaw?
And I feel like if I say coleslaw, then you think of the mayonnaise coleslaw.
Okay, so Sam sells shredded cabbage that a typical person would then make into coleslaw.
I would assume so.
Is this what I'm led to? Okay, this is a product I would never purchase, so I'm just not sure. I'm not familiar with the process.
I mean, I'm just eating it as salad. I'm not using it to make coleslaw.
What's it say on the package? What is it?
I think it's called cabbage slaw.
Okay.
I know. So I can't take credit for saying slaw.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
Yeah. But I think there's shredded broccoli in there, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
White and green and purple cabbage.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm using that as a salad. I got some leftover taco meat and I heated that up and I put it over the slaw. And then I took a little side dish where I mixed some of my homemade ranch and some sriracha, and then I drizzled it over my salad, and then I put the lid on my salad and I shook it real good, and oh my gosh, it was so good, Matt. Put a couple of crumbled tortilla chips in there so I wouldn't eat a whole bag of tortilla chips. I don't know where sriracha was all of my life, but when my lips are swollen and my nose is running, I just can't stop. It's yep, keep going. So good.
Lips are swollen? From the, I got you, from the sriracha. Yeah.
Yes, from so heat.
First I thought you were talking about using it as a way to clear out your nose.
That would be good.
But this is a side effect. It's just a side effect.
But I had that for dinner the other night, and then I got an email that somebody needed a commercial really quick. So I know you and I have talked about work boundaries, but this was something.
Yeah, work-life balance here.
Something fast, something quick. This will help them out. So I had to cut a commercial after eating my taco slaw. Taco sriracha slaw. I feel like I sounded different because I felt like my lips were kind of big when I was talking about.
That sounds great. You should always use that voice.
Right? This is, I'm trying to help them out, and I feel like they're going to be wow, I'm never going to ask you to help me again.
Right, and that'd be very convenient for you.
Right? Workplace boundaries. If you ask me to do something on my time off, I'm going to screw it up, and you'll never ask me again.
My mouth doesn't work after 5 o'clock. Sorry.
I have used that. I've said my brain doesn't work after 5 o'clock, but...
So how long do you keep homemade ranch around?
It probably lasts about a week and a half.
Okay, have you ever been tempted just to make a separate bottle that is a Sriracha Ranch?
I've been tempted to.
But instead you just doctor it up as you go.
Yeah. Because then I don't want to, like, if I have too much, am I going to use more than I need?
You don't want to overcommit.
Well, I know I'm going to eat it. It's more like if I've got more, I'm going to eat more in one serving. So it's more like making one serving.
Right, and I assume the kids are probably into ranch, but not so much Sriracha.
Correct.
And where's Monty stand on this?
Monty thinks that he likes it, but he says it's too Sriracha-y for him. He likes it more ranchy.
Oh, well, that's why it's helpful to potentially do it as you go, because he could add just like a little bit of Sriracha to his or something.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That, and it's like, if I just make the individual serving,
yeah,
I'm not going to be like, ooh, I need a little bit more. Let me give you another squirt. So
Sriracha I do find Sriracha can be a slippery slope where it can become too much. So like
oh yeah,
what you're eating just tastes like Sriracha.
Right.
You know, earlier we were talking about adding Tabasco to popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'd put Sriracha on popcorn. I don't think. Maybe that would work.
I think some people do. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like I've baby stepped into the Sriracha world too. Because I'm not going to put Sriracha on wings. Do you ever put that? Do people put that on wings?
I bet they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it fundamentally changes everything it touches into a Sriracha taste.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Tabasco, I find, you can still taste that kind of vinegary Tabasco. But I feel like it more adds heat than it adds flavor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tabasco would mix very well with ranch for some reason.
No.
Like an oil and water kind of deal, but maybe I'm wrong on that too. I don't know.
Do you do Tabasco on your eggs?
Not currently. Currently, no, I'm not in that mode. I do add a bunch of crushed red pepper to basically the vegetables that I saute that I end up putting eggs on top of.
Yeah.
And so that kind of brings the heat.
Well, I'm not like a ketchup or a salsa on eggs person.
Yeah.
And so I'm more of a purist with eggs. So
yeah, as a kid, I loved ketchup with eggs. Now I don't think I would ever do that.
I don't know where my kids got it, but Finley, anytime she has eggs, and I'll make these really good cheesy, sausagey eggs, and she's like, "Can I have some ketchup?" I'm like, "No, you are going to ruin them." But I give in, and she eats it. But I give her the ketchup. Like, I put the ketchup on so I know it's not covered in ketchup. Yeah, I don't know where she figured that one out. Because we are not that.